Trust and Obey by Rev. John Henry Sammis and Daniel Brink Towner. John Henry Sammis and Daniel Brink Towner were two deeply influential figures in the world of evangelical hymnody in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, best remembered today for their collaboration on the beloved hymn, Trust and Obey. Their lives, though distinct in trajectory, were interwoven by a shared commitment to Christian ministry, music, and the spiritual formation of believers through song. John Henry Sammis was born in 1846 in Brooklyn, New York. He began his professional life as a businessman, but his growing spiritual conviction and sense of divine calling eventually led him into the Presbyterian ministry. Sammis was not only a preacher but also a teacher, dedicating part of his later life to instructing future ministers and Christian workers. His most notable academic role came after he moved to California in 1901 to join the faculty of the Bible Institute of Los Angeles, which later became Biola University. There, he served until his death in 1919, shaping the theological and musical minds of many through both teaching and hymn writing. Sammis had a particularly close friendship with Daniel Brink Towner, born in 1850. Towner was a prolific and influential composer, known for his heartfelt and melodious contributions to American gospel music. His compositions include enduring hymns such as At Calvary, Grace Greater Than Our Sin, and Anywhere with Jesus. Towner's musical career was deeply tied to evangelistic efforts, most notably with the celebrated preacher Dwight L. Moody. He became the first head of the music department at Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, Illinois, a role that allowed him to integrate music deeply into the life and mission of the institute. The story behind Trust and Obey reveals the close collaborative bond between these two men. In 1886, Towner was leading the music during an evangelistic campaign with Dwight L. Moody in Brockton, Massachusetts. During one of the services, a young man stood up and expressed a heartfelt but simple commitment to the Christian life by saying, "I am not quite sure, but I am going to trust and I'm going to obey." That candid statement struck a deep chord in Towner. Sensing its poetic and spiritual potential, he jotted it down and sent both the quote and the context to his friend John Sammis. Inspired by the phrase and its earnest simplicity, Sammis began to write. He first crafted the now famous chorus, "Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey." From this central theme he developed the stanzas, turning the young man's humble testimony into a structured and biblically grounded hymn of devotion. Once the lyrics were complete, Towner composed the melody that gave the hymn its enduring power and accessibility. The hymn was first published in Hymns Old and New in 1887 by Fleming H. Revel Company of Chicago, and it quickly became a staple in evangelical hymnals and worship services across the country. Throughout his life, Sammis continued writing hymns, over 100 in total. His compositions largely fall under the themes of trust and obedience, reflecting his pastoral concern for nurturing genuine faith in the Christian walk. Notable among these is He's a Friend of Mine. Many of Sammis's hymns were later compiled in 1918 by T.C. Horton, who founded the Bible Institute in Los Angeles, and R.A. Torrey. John Henry Sammis passed away on June 12, 1919, in Highland Park, Los Angeles. He was laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. Daniel Brink Towner also died in 1919, marking the end of an era that had witnessed the birth of many great hymns that would continue to inspire generations of believers. Their legacy, especially through Trust and Obey, has lived on, capturing the essence of Christian discipleship in its simplest and most profound expression. To walk with Christ means to trust Him and to obey Him. Their hymn remains a testimony not only to their talents, but to their deep faith and commitment to the spiritual growth of others through music.